It's me, lad.
Come on up, mate.
Recording, yes, the third album. It feels such a long time ago when we did Welcome to the Rock Show and Fight to Survive, but here we are, album number 3. How are we approaching it? Pretty much the same as we approached the other 3 albums, but on this one we took a little bit longer, so I'll probably say we're around about 2 years writing this one. We've written around about 25 songs, and we've whittled it down to 10, and we believe that's the 10 that are the strongest songs. It's been a longer road, this one. We've really been a bit picky, and we feel that 10 that we're gonna record are definitely the ones that we're all happy with. We spent a lot of time to and fro in rehearsing them, and we believe that album 3 is going to be very special, and we just can't wait for you guys to listen to it. But obviously before we put it out, we're going to be looking for distribution. We can't just put it out. Spent a lot of time, a lot of money on this, and we want to do it right for you guys. So 2023, watch out.
Okay, fella, here we go.
Started drumming when I was around 10 years old, I think. I was doing guitar lessons originally, and me being me, the guitar, it was like a group tutor, and I felt as though I needed a little bit more help than maybe some of the more advanced students in that lesson, and I wasn't getting the help that I thought, so I kind of went next door and set the kit up, played it as loud and as hard as I can. First time I'd ever played a drum kit, and I just really enjoyed it, and kind of took it from there. Self-taught, listening to bands like Metallica, Pantera, growing up. So I'd say my influences are, this is the obvious, Lars Ulrich, Metallica, Vinnie Paul, Pantera, John Otto, Limp Bizkit. I kind of jumped on the new metal scene was the point where I jumped on the wagon. So yeah, some really good drummers, some really good inspiration. So when it comes to writing new material and approaching the way that I write my drum parts, so Kev, he will always send over demos, he'll bounce over demos. I'll open them up in some software on my laptop and plug in the electronic kit and just jam away. I'll often listen to music that I like as well, or music from similar genres, and just to see if I could pick up any inspiration, would you say, and just take it from there, trying out different rudiments and different patterns. And Kev's got a really good knowledge of drums in it as well, and he's got a good direction and knows where he wants to be, so that's always a good help. So, the gear of choice for this particular recording session, I am using the ProMark 5A drumsticks, which I believe are, they have got a particular name, but I can't 100% remember what they are. They're like a burnt wood effect. It's the first time trying these, so I'm just seeing if they hold up any stronger in the studio. We move down to my snare drum. The snare drum I'm using is the Ludwig Black Magic, which is the little sister to the Black Beauty. It's almost identical, bar the seam in the shell, where the Ludwig Black Magic has a seam in, the Black Beauty doesn't. So we'll see if there's any difference in that. And the cymbals of choice today are the trusty old Pasty Alpha. They are the metal core cymbals. I chose these simply for the road, and there is a story where the ride was dropped by Stu, and but there's no cracks, no damages, so they really are good hardcore cymbals.
Foreign in.
Sorry.
I lied, I weren't ready.
What the fuck?
I lied.
You just phoned in, you got it?
Yeah.
You ready? Yeah. No. You ready?
Oh no, I missed it, sorry.
Oh!
Denied. Denied. You can do better.
Yeah, you can do better.
Okay, I can't give you that. Here we go. Yeah?
Yeah, it felt good.
Look at him go!
No fucking choice, are we?
What are you doing?
Don't know.
Let's go again.
How I started guitar, many moons ago actually. I was around about 14 and I discovered the American band Kiss, and I thought Ace Frehley was absolutely just mind-blowing. You know, that smoking guitar just blew my mind that was a guitar player. I know there's so many great guitar players around at the time, but Ace really did it for me, and it was the way I learned to play guitar, because unfortunately there was no YouTube then, and I couldn't afford a guitar teacher, and I lived in a village, so it was hard to actually get a guitar teacher. So I just figured out how to play Kiss songs, and that's how I learned to play guitar. Again, obviously my influences, Ace was definitely up there with Brian May, and even the Shadows and the American band called The Ventures, the instrumentals. I really like that kind of country music as well, but it changed for me when I was at school and somebody gave me the first Ozzy Osbourne album, Blizzard of Oz, and I heard Crazy Train for the first time, and the guitar player was so different, so classical and unique and clean, and obviously it was Randy Rhoads, and that was the turning point for me. Actually holding a It's a Japanese Fender Boxer. Very plain, but I took the pickup out and fitted a Seymour Duncan in there. Been playing Seymour Duncan for quite a long time. A little bit boring, but obviously this is set up with some heavier strings for recording. It's primarily just for the rhythm today, and this is the guitar I'm really loving. Pedal wise, I've always used Boss, keep it simple, and I do use my pedals very wisely live because I try to recreate what I record. So there you go.
Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare, Kiss, Destroyer, because they were just such glamorous looking, cool looking people. The biggest influence I would say to this day is probably Prince, for the diversity in his music and great guitar player, my favourite guitar player too. So that's who kind of, how it started and who I dig. The gear I use, basically live and in the studio, I own 3 Music Man basses. They're all active, absolutely, well, these are the Music Man Stingray, absolutely beautiful basses. My approach to recording in the studio is basically I'll sit with a track with the demo, and I'll continuously chip away at my parts, and I'll, again, because I sing and play, I have to think very much about live as well, about what I'm going to be doing in a verse section, what I'm going to be playing while I'm singing. So that affects what I do as well.
My favourite track off the 3rd album, Freddie Said. It's a little of a homage to Freddie Mercury from Queen, and it was one of the last songs we wrote. It goes through many changes, it's a very theatrical song, and that's why we're releasing this as our first single. So you heard it from me, Freddie Said, he certainly did.
Third album, Progress. Favourite song for me, standout song is Breakneck. It's more up my streets, more of a metal song, bit more fast pace, bit more grit, bit more gore, and that's just totally me and my drumming style.
It's a song called I'll Find You in Yesterday, and the reason that song means a lot to me is it's written about a friend I had way back in my school days, and it's sadly he's passed on, and it's about the connections that music it makes in your life, the people you meet, and how it gets you to kind of expand your horizons, meet new people, get out and about, play with different members in bands, and I think anybody who listens to that song will totally get, you know, how music can transform your life. So for me, it's the song I'll Find You in Yesterday.
It's a one-way ride, things you leave behind, dreams of better days, thought we'd never change, meeting at the record store, dreaming we'd be so much more.
We'd just like to say a few thank yous. We'd like to thank the marvellous Matt Elliss at Axis Studios Doncaster.
I'd just like to thank everybody. If you're sat watching this now, just thank you for supporting us and helping us do what we do.
I'd like to thank Rich and Sharon Stonell for being there for us through thick and thin. I'd also like to thank May Boroff for getting us in touch with Chris, the piano player, absolutely brilliant pianist, who plays on the song I'll Find You in Yesterday.
Oh, what a
and
fabulous
I'd also
job, yeah.
like to thank everybody who's behind us and you know, coming to gigs and supporting us and keeping the rock scene alive. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and again, like to thank Heather Burns for the fantastic photographs in the album, and Big Dave for the artwork. Once again, he delivered. And again, we'll see you at some point. I'm sure we'll be on tour while we're talking, and we'll be playing these fabulous new songs.
So yeah, get yourself there and let's have fun.